Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Honey. Welcome back people, welcome back. And those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. It is your girl Honey. Today people, we are talking about the top 5 best placements or even aspects to have in your natal chart. This is going to be following on from the video top 5 worst, so make sure you guys check it out if you haven't seen that, because we are talking about a lot in that video. Now, how can I create a whole astrology class, how to read a birth chart class, without actually plugging it in the video? So those of you who aren't aware, please make sure you check out my how to read a birth chart class on my website, honeysastro.com. I will also pin it in the comment section below so you guys can click the direct link straight there. I wanted to make this video because I've done a top 5 worst, so here is the top 5 best placements. Alright, the first one I want to mention has got to be part of fortune. The part of fortune is a Arabic part that represents where we experience a lot of our fortune, success. Lots of blessings tend to come from this particular point. Everyone obviously has their own part of fortune in their sign and in their house. We're going to look at part of fortune in reference to positive aspects, conjunctions, trines, sextiles, but also in the house that you have your part of fortune in. And part of fortune is a great placement because it indicates where we are likely to find a lot of our success. And this can be linked to our career, or even in terms of our purpose and how we can really get a lot from our purpose with our part of fortune. So I wouldn't say that there's a specific placement that works really, really well here. It's important that you look at the aspects that's going to really boost and help your part of fortune to really thrive. So yes, part of fortune is my top 5, my number 5 for positive or best placements in astrology, to find out exactly what makes you successful in this lifetime. And as we are all different people, success can be different depending on what's important to you. Some people might feel like having a family is the biggest success that they could ever have. Some people might feel like growing in their career, being famous has been the biggest success that they can have. It's dependent on what it is that you desire to have. However, I love to see part of fortune when it's conjunct particular planets such as Jupiter, the Sun, Venus even, and also in the angular houses, house 1, 4, 7, and 10, as these are the houses that are very prominent in our lives. So yes, part of fortune placement is very important when it is positively aspected. Number 4, I'm going to go with Jupiter and Venus in positive aspect, which can be the conjunction, the sextile, or the trine. When you think about Jupiter being the planet of luck, blessings, gains, expansion, knowledge, philosophy, freedom, and optimism, and Venus being a planet of relationship desires, self-esteem, value, worth, and how you earn your money. When you have Jupiter aspecting Venus, Jupiter's going to amplify the expression of Venus. This can make someone feel very highly of themselves. You know, their self-worth can be big. You know, they might think they are the God's gift even, but it's about how they feel about themselves. Their idea of love tends to be very optimistic, regardless of what pain they've gone through in the past. They're also likely to end up with someone who is financially comfortable, who's quite wealthy, and can also help them become more established in their lives as well. It can make you very likable. Also, in reference to the house placements that you have your Venus and your Jupiter positioned in, that is a positive energy of these two houses having to work together. So it's like, for example, having your Venus in your 7th house and your Jupiter is in your 11th house. So maybe kind of working very closely with your clients or with people and creating a community or bringing people together for a certain reason, and it kind of becomes easy. Or maybe you have it in your 5th house and your 2nd house, and maybe you financially do all right. Maybe you are really good at gambling and you win a lot of money, you know. So it's kind of about looking at the house placements as well, because these two houses will also benefit you as much as the Venus and the Jupiter are trining each other. Number 3 has to be the Sun placement. I like to see the Sun in the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th house as well, but mainly the 9th and the 10th house, and this is my reasons why. The 9th house is the house of higher learning, foreign lands, language, culture, belief system, freedom, and travel. And when the Sun comes into this house, this person, most of the time my clients who have this placement have moved to a different country. They love traveling, they love learning more about the meaning of life, you know, searching for a higher consciousness and really exploring all that life has to offer them. These people want to explore everything that world has to offer them. Different cultures, different beliefs, different people, different countries, different smell, tastes. Life is about experiencing, and the sun
does wonderfully here because its purpose is to explore and experience life without any boundaries. As I was saying before about government, control, corruption, the sun being here doesn't want to be a part of any of that. Its purpose is to find a higher consciousness. What's the meaning to life? Which is to explore and to experience.
I like them for publishing, for teaching, for becoming spiritualists themselves. You know, I like the sun being here because the sun gets a lot out of life when it's here. I also like to see the sun in the 10th house because, as we know, the 10th house is the house of direction, career, public image. So the sun gets a lot of attention here, and I know that this can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what it is you're getting attention for. If you're someone who is very devoted to how you want to be represented, very devoted to your direction in life, where it is you see yourself in the long term, the sun does really well here if you're pushing towards being a successful person. Bearing in mind, you can have aspects that can completely change the expression of this, especially if Neptune could be involved. The sun being here is a great placement because we see someone who strives for success, honey. And also, like, this house commands respect. Not that it just commands it, but you guys tend to get it. People naturally respect you and they look at you as though this person is very respectable. I'm going to treat them a certain type of way. I wouldn't expect anything less from them because it's also about how you are presenting yourself. So how you present yourself, you care significantly about how the public see you. In terms of the 11th house, I also like the sun being here as well because the 11th house is the house of your social circles, organizations, networks, groups. When you have the sun in the 9th house and 11th house, it's very close to that 10th house. And it does very well here as well because we see someone who is a natural born entrepreneur, who really pushes themselves to be successful, but also the importance of bringing a collective of people together, wanting to create change. But I'm still kind of leaning towards the sun being in the 10th house. Obviously it's exalted being here anyway, but I also really like the sun in the 9th house. The next placement I want to mention is North Node conjunctions. The North Node is a directional point of where we're all trying to get to in this lifetime. The North Node is an energy where most of us tend to be kind of afraid to go to in reference to the sign that it sits in, right? This can be like an unconscious fear that we have because the South Node is what we are very familiar with. We know about our South Node sign, the energy there. The North Node is where we need to kind of go karmically to kind of fulfill our karmic debts. And whenever you have a planet that is conjunct your North Node, that planet helps you get there quicker. I do feel though, in reference to like maybe Venus, from what I have seen, a lot of people who have Venus conjunct their South Node are still working towards understanding the benefit of relationships and marriages and other people. So Venus, I'm a little bit like, maybe. However, I really do like it, you know, in reference to like Mercury, to the sun, to the moon a little bit, yeah. So I feel like with the moon, I've noticed that there can be like a sacrifice of dad that pushes that person to have to be close to mum now when the North Node's conjunct the moon. But yeah, sun, Jupiter, even Uranus, you know, the outside planets as well. Saturn does really well when it's conjunct the North Node because we see someone who's taking accountability, who's being more responsible in their life and becoming their own authoritative figure, especially within that house, you know, that they have their Saturn and their North Node positioned in. So yeah, personally, whenever I'm looking, okay, in birth charts, I like to see North Node conjunctions. In reference to the sun, I do see it to be quite frequent where this person has a lot of very positive role models in their life that kind of encourages them to almost become a role model for other people as well by finding their true purpose. They come into this world and they have benefited from having guidance in their lives to really push them to find their true purpose. And again, this can be dependent on aspects. Bear that in mind. And my number one top favorite aspect to have, a grand trine. I love to see grand trines. I know grand trines are an easy flow of energy. I want to mention as well, when it comes to seeing grand trines in the birth chart, there's not a whole load to talk about really because that person is usually living in their grand trine. Like your parents would have encouraged you to embrace the grand trine's energy naturally. I've got a grand trine in water. My parents always encouraged me to be creative, and I've also been very sensitive and emotional, so I kind of get that. My son, he's got a grand trine in earth, so me and his dad are always I want to say encouraging him, but he's only 9 months, but we are very on top of making sure that his finances are all good. Financially he's going to be okay, you know. We're setting him up very well for the future, which is very much earth. People who have fire grand trine usually come from very inspirational families who are very passionate, who are very supportive of each other, and your purpose is likely to be to inspire and to encourage other people to be just as passionate and motivated and driven as how you feel. We've also got air grand trines. Air grand trines, absolutely brilliant, because we see someone who's fantastic at speaking, communicating, even writing, but someone who's very likable, because people like people who can talk really well and talk to people and socialize and then interact. You might come from a family who may have encouraged you to do a lot of reading, you know, to have a lot of hobbies and interests and to try new things. So your families also play a huge part in you expressing this grand trine. And funnily enough, I made a video, actually it's on my How to Read a Birth Chart class, where I spoke about Drake, because Drake's got a grand trine in water as well. And as we see, the way that he expresses it is interesting, but I go into depth about it in my class, because it's very indirect how Drake expresses his emotions. So yeah, that is my top 5 best placements to have in the natal chart video. Any more suggestions, people, let me know in the comments and I will let you know if I can do it or not, okay? But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.